This week's edition of Someone You Should Know is a 2-for-1 treat. Here's Anthony Landahl and Ashley Lessen with more.
Some stories of World War II are found in military books like this one. Other stories are retold by someone who was there at the time. 97-year-old Baxter Fite is a veteran who lived that experience. The Georgia native joined the Medic Corps at age 20 after spending time around his grandfather, who was a doctor.
And I traveled in Georgia with him when he was making medical calls. And that's what determined my ambition to be in the military.
Fite's journey through Europe started in southern France in 1944. Fite remembers moments like the Battle of the Bulge, the day the Allied forces won, and liberating concentration camps like Dachau. It was Fite's job to treat the survivors' starvation.
We had sea rations, and sea rations are soft foods like potatoes and beans and Salisbury steak and things like that. Give them one spoonful, and about an hour later, give them another spoonful.
74 years later, the passion for his service stands strong.
I served in the military. I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that there was a thing for me to do.
For BUTV News, I'm Anthony Landahl in Peoria.
Meet Dr. Paul Gullifor, the former chair of the Department of Communications and a professor here at Bradley. He has been teaching media and communications for over 30 years, but his interest in studying the media came long before that.
I've always kind of had an interest in it, but I think what really piqued my interest was in high school. I had a class in Introduction to Mass Media, and I loved that class. I think that really piqued my interest, and I didn't even know you could study that in college at the time, but that's the difference one class and one teacher can make, though, right? So I probably credit that class more than anything else. I came right out of graduate school. This was one of a couple of offers that I had, but I loved everything about Bradley. I just loved the location, and it just kind of had the best of all possible worlds for me. And came here and decided to stay here, and I've been here ever since.
In his time teaching here, one of the things he's done is take communications students on expeditions to different cities to show them what career opportunities are out there for them to pursue.
For the first 15, 16 years or so, I took students to New York City, and then got away from that, took some students to Las Vegas for a couple of years, and now doing Chicago. The whole idea behind it really is to take students to location to study this. It's been, I think, a really good experience for the students to see firsthand how all of these industries operate. Sometimes they come back and say, I didn't know there were jobs in this area, this is pretty cool. And so part of it has been that, exposing them to new ways of doing things.
If you're interested in going on a Chicago expedition with Dr. Gullifor, you can email him at pfg@fsmail.bradley.edu. And if you're interested in taking a class with him in the future, I couldn't recommend it enough. Reporting for BUTV News, I'm Ashley Lessen.